Evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Ask Leah, the second in a two-part series on forgiveness, in response to a couple of questions I received from someone around how to better forgive other people, but crucially, how to also forgive themselves. Last week's episode focused on forgiving others. Tonight, I'm tackling the harder one, which is how to forgive yourself. This person is holding on to a lot of guilt for some really poor decisions they made a long time ago that hurt someone they love, and unfortunately they can't apologise to that person anymore. So what I wanted to do tonight is share with you a 5-part framework for how you can shift through those feelings of extreme guilt and beating yourself up to some self-compassion and forgiveness that allow you to process the feelings and move forward. It starts off like this. Number 1, feel it. And I know that's hard, but actually allow yourself to feel. If you're feeling guilt, and we can talk about, guilt not being a great emotion and all of those things, but let me tell you this. There are no bad emotions. Emotions are data. So that feeling of guilt is telling you, actually, I feel like I did the wrong thing there. So allow yourself to feel it, because if you acknowledge it, you can move through it. If you just try to suppress, you won't get anywhere. But we also don't want to wallow in it. So step 2, own it. Acknowledge what you did was wrong. You know that. Own it. Take personal responsibility for the action. This is where I would say, if you could, you apologise and make amends, but own it, okay? Acknowledge you did the wrong thing. Number 3 is separate from it. Because here's the thing, you might have done something really bad, and that was poor behaviour, but that does not necessarily make you a bad person. We are human. We all stuff up and make mistakes. We have to be able to separate what we did from who we are, okay? So work on separating from it. Number 4, learn from it. Look for the learnings. When I'm talking to people about failure, I say that it's only failure if you don't try in the first place or you don't learn from your mistakes, okay? If you have made poor choices in the past or you have hurt other people, look for the learnings. What could you do differently next time? What could you put in place to ensure something like that doesn't happen again? Because this feeling you're living with sucks. So what are the learnings here for you? Now, depending on how you're feeling, something that can be really powerful when you uncover the learnings is sharing them with other people. Okay, that vulnerability to say, hey folks, here's where I stuffed up and here are the learnings that I had from it, and I'm sharing it with you, so hopefully you don't make the same mistake. It can help shift you to see that there is meaning from what happened and that learning is actually having a good impact on other people. Step 5, live it. Your learnings aren't much use if you don't use them to change your behaviour. So live the learnings. Live them. Don't behave like that again. Make better choices. Be more courageous in the way that you choose to show up, communicate, and be there for your family and friends. So to recap, okay, we've got feel it, own it, separate from it, learn from it, and live it. I know this is easier said than done, as is everything in life. But holding on to the guilt just means you'll get stuck and not be able to move through it. And I can almost guarantee there are incredible learnings that came from that mistake that will help you live a better life and probably the people around you. I hope that helps. I could record a whole day's worth of content on forgiveness, but I hope that little snapshot gives you something to work with. If you have a communication, leadership, self-management, people skills, soft skill question you would like answered, please send it through. I love being able to share some ideas, strategies and advice. Send it through. I will depersonalize it, so I won't throw you under a bus, and I'll do my best to answer it for you in an upcoming episode. Cheers.